But what we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. I think Terence Crawford right now in the sport of boxing is the pound for pound best fighter in the sport of boxing right now. Mm-hmm. It's good to see him in the position that he's in.
Floyd Mayweather has just fired at Canelo Alvarez and accused him for using steroids ahead of his fight with Terence Crawford. On the other hand, Canelo said he views Crawford as slightly better than Mayweather, placing that potential fight in a different category.
It's like Crawford, or may use the same game plan?
I don't know. I don't really know. But, I put that fight in other place right now. I think Crawford is a little better than Mayweather.
Moreover, Robert Garcia reacted to this statement and dismissed Canelo's comparison, noting Crawford and Mayweather have different styles and that Canelo was still developing at 23. He praised Crawford's skills but said the fights aren't comparable.
I think it's totally different. I think, Canelo was only 23, he was very young. I think this fight's going to be great. I do see Crawford maybe pulling it off because he's got good footwork, good speed, but I don't think they're close. I don't similar those two fights. Canelo and Floyd. I think they're just different styles. I mean, Floyd and Crawford.
However, Floyd Mayweather took shots at Canelo Alvarez, calling him a steroid user. He also made harsh comments about their fight, saying he dominated Canelo. Mayweather concluded by naming Crawford the top pound-for-pound fighter today.
But what we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat. He could have been not clean in a lot of fights. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. I think Terence Crawford right now in the sport of boxing is the pound for pound best fighter in the sport of boxing right now. Mm-hmm. It's good to see him in the position that he's in.
Moreover, Terence Crawford said he expects Canelo to use a mix of skill and pressure, trying to capitalize on his size. While acknowledging Canelo's physical edge, Crawford stated he's ready for any style Canelo brings.
I'm expecting Canelo to be Canelo. He's the bigger man. I expect him to, box a little bit, but I also expect him, to try to walk me down and be the bigger man. So, we expect everything in there. No, it definitely don't matter. The odds can't fight for him. So, it is what it is.
He also urged fans to watch on September 13th, calling it a high-stakes clash between two elite fighters, as one defending his spot, the other aiming to take it.
Because it's going to be a spectacular fight. You got two great fighters, going head-to-head, and trying to dethrone. You got one fighter trying to dethrone the other one, and you got the other one trying to, stay at the top. So, it's going to be a great fight. Both of us got a lot to lose, but a lot to gain. So I think that's why everybody should tune in, because it's going to be a hell of a fight.
Furthermore, Dimitri Bivol, who beat Canelo Alvarez, spoke about Terence Crawford moving up to 168 pounds. Initially unsure if Crawford could handle the size jump, Bivol changed his view after seeing him in Dubai, saying Crawford looked strong and skilled. He called Crawford one of his favorite fighters and believes he has a real shot at winning.
First reaction, of course, it was about size of Crawford. Is it okay for him to move up for 2 weight classes, yeah, or not? But then I saw him in Dubai maybe a month ago. I saw him. He's big, and he has very good skills. He's one of my favorite boxers. He able to win this fight.
Still, Bivol noted there are unknowns. He said Crawford must adjust to the power and pressure at the higher weight, which could be a major challenge. It will depend on how Crawford feels on fight night and how well his camp goes. Bivol added that Crawford's ability to switch styles gives him an edge.
But there is a lot of but, and even not but, there is a lot of things, small things, which we don't know how he will deal with this. He need to get used to the power and pressure of 168. because it's big difference, to be honest. Maybe he will get used to it, and how he will be feeling himself at the same day when he will fighting, how his training camp will go on, a lot of things. But he's able, he has good skills, he's awkward, he can use 2 boxing stance. It gives him benefits, of course.
Bill Haney called Canelo versus Crawford the biggest fight in boxing today is so huge, he said even Muhammad Ali would be talking about it. He praised Crawford for taking on the challenge, but warned that this fight isn't just about skill. Haney stressed that Crawford must also deal with Canelo's size and power, which could be a major factor.
Man, come on, man. That's the biggest fight, you know what I mean, in boxing right now. Canelo and Crawford. Crawford stepping up. Man, it's so big, you got Muhammad over there saying something about it. That's how big it is. He came off the bench from the 60s, right, Muhammad? You go back in the 60s? Yeah, well, listen. Canelo is big. And shout out to Crawford stepping up. But does Crawford have to be worried about more things than just boxing? Absolutely.
Oscar De La Hoya questioned whether Crawford can keep Canelo off for 12 rounds, but praised his footwork, IQ, and adaptability. He noted Canelo has struggled with slick fighters like Bivol, Mayweather, Lara, and even Ryder. Despite Canelo's improvement, De La Hoya still sees his lack of mobility as a weakness Crawford could exploit.
It makes me think, I mean, how is Crawford going to keep him away for 12 rounds? Canelo's going to come at him hard. Right. But then again, I think about Crawford's abilities and his IQ and his footwork, which Canelo cannot handle. And we know that for a fact. It happened with Bivol, it happened with Mayweather, who schooled him left and right with no problem. And Canelo was way stronger than Mayweather. So there's
Don't you think Canelo's a better fighter than he was then? Today?
A better fight? Yeah, a little better. Yeah, his footwork is still the same. He's flat-footed. He's very heavy on his feet. But you saw his last fight with Skull. Mm-hmm. He couldn't touch Skull. I mean, he was a runner. He was a Cuban runner, but he couldn't touch Skull.
Ever.
It was incredible. It was amazing. It was just like the fight with Lara. He couldn't touch Lara. So there's a reason why fighters think that if they move a little against Canelo, they have boxing abilities against Canelo, they might beat him.
He added that while power matters, Crawford's calm under pressure stands out. Crawford knows when to hold his ground and never panics. De La Hoya called him tough, smart, and fearless, saying his ring intelligence could be the deciding factor in this stylistic clash.
Yeah, I mean, power's a lot. In this game, power means a lot. If you can't keep your guy off you, or you don't know how because it's too much pressure, I'm not saying Crawford is going to fold, but a lot of fighters, you know, they can't handle the pressure. And the one thing about Crawford is that he knows how to handle the pressure. He's a savvy boxer, you know, and he doesn't run. And he has that heart. He's a dog. He has that heart. You want to fight me? I'm going to fight you. But he's smart.
Sergio Mora first saw Canelo versus Crawford as a money grab, doubting Crawford's ability at 175 pounds. After Canelo's poor fight with Skull, he changed his mind. Mora said Crawford's superior footwork, speed, and power from both stances make him a real threat despite the size difference.
Initially, I said, oh, man, this is just a money grab. I mean, Crawford started at 135. How is he going to be at a guy that's fought as high as 175? And then you saw Canelo's fight against William School, his last fight. It wasn't a good fight, man. You've seen that he doesn't have the fastball anymore. He doesn't have he's never had fast feet, but at least he's not cutting off the ring like he used to. Yeah. And the explosiveness in his combinations and in half speed, it wasn't there either because there was nothing to hit. So can you imagine a Bud Crawford who's nowhere near a William School? School just ran. He didn't try to win that fight. Bud's going to try to win the fight. Mm-hmm. He's going to have the footwork. He's going to have the hand speed. He's going to have, maybe not the power of Canelo, but he's going to have respectable pop in that punch coming from both stances, mind you, the left-handed and the right-handed stance.
Abdullah Mason believes Crawford can win and might surprise with his strength, but the outcome will depend on who performs and prepares better on fight night.
Canelo Crawford, I got faith that Crawford could take it. I got faith in Crawford. I feel like Crawford, he might surprise some people with his strength. So it all depends on who's the better fighter that night and who prepared, better.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? Share your thoughts in the comment section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also check out our other videos on the screen right now.